Hello there, Core3 Harmony and Wellness here. This is Megan, creator and founder of Core3 Harmony and Wellness. First and foremost, thank you so much for showing up and being here with me today. I am excited that you've taken out a little bit of your time to either watch this live as we are up and in person right now, or if you happen to peruse through and catch this later on. I so appreciate your time. Like I said, I am Megan. I am the creator and founder of Core3 Harmony and Wellness. Here we provide three areas of service, that is music therapy, counseling, and coaching. We are able to provide our services in person if you happen to be near our office location, as well as via telehealth if you happen to not be near our office location and or you are in some capacity not able to make it into the office. We are still able to meet you right there in your own home. So I appreciate your time. And today we're going to kick off a new series, managing expectations during the holidays. And this is an area where I believe we find ourselves tripping over our own feet, so to speak, in regards to the expectations and how I would like to say the obligations of things. I am speaking to you specifically today if you happen to be, quote unquote, you would call yourself a people pleaser. For many of us, we know exactly who we are. If we are people pleasers, we're able to identify ourselves very well. If you're not aware, or if you find you kind of dibble dabble, you're kind of back and forth, or you find yourself having tendencies to appease or please, this information is going to be very helpful for you as well. So it's definitely going to be helpful information for those who totally identify themselves as people pleasers or appeasers, as well as those who find themselves upon occasion dabbling in appeasing to lessen confrontation or frustration. So before I dive in, I would like to thank every subscriber that continues to say subscribe. I greatly appreciate you. If you are not a subscriber, please do subscribe. It's my goal to go live every Tuesday for not very long, but just to hit on some pointers that I believe is uplifting, inspiring, and helpful to you to help carry you through whatever stages you might happen to be in life at the time. And also to provide you the space where if you are in need of more support, please reach out to me. I would be happy to speak with you to learn more about the specific things you are dealing with at this time and stage in your life, and helping you to gain the resiliency to do well, be well in every area of your life. Please provide us an offering, a free offering of a thumbs up. That just helps us to know that you're there, that you're watching, that you appreciate the information that we are sharing. We greatly appreciate it. It's your way of giving gratitude and thanks for the time and effort and energy put in to this platform to provide you information that I truly believe will be a benefit to you or others if you are aware of them in pertaining to the specific topic and discussion that is being shared at the time. Today, I wanted to share some tips, and we're going to scatter this throughout the next couple of weeks, how to manage expectations for the holidays. Here in the States, we just completed or we're wrapping up Thanksgiving. Some folks may actually still be traveling, heading back from wherever they went off to for Thanksgiving. There are a lot of expectations and obligations that are pushed in the forefront during the holiday season. So we want to talk about how to manage that and how to help you navigate through these next couple of weeks. I believe that's all the housekeeping things. um, if there's a specific subject or topic you would like to address, or it's been looming or pending on your mind, please email me and let me know. The description on how to contact me is in the description box. And also, if there is anything in specific in which you have particularly been helped by the information, please let us know as well. It's nice to get the feedback and the response. All right, so I find, especially when I'm working with folks, that the holiday season can be a particularly difficult time due to the fact that there are extra events going on and specific people in your life that may only pop in or occur, or you might only interact with during certain time periods, time frames, holidays. And so for many of us, we can find ourselves feeling like we're really in a bind or a pickle as far as really seeing if we're really good at establishing and setting our own boundaries or not. I want to share that I know there are some folks who will completely, how do I want to say this? Perhaps black out these next couple weeks. And what I mean by that when I say blackout, they will particularly almost in a sense put themselves in a place where they hibernate or hibernation mode to avoid all of the potential issues and complications and challenges in dealing with certain holiday events and individuals. And so I want to say that I'm going to be addressing those of you who may have a tendency to do that in this series. But for today, our specific focus is going to be on the appeasers, the pleasers, people pleasers, who think or believe they have a grasp on their boundaries and find that there are still weak links in their boundary setting and limits in regards to themselves and interacting with others. So, if you do have a particular difficult time managing your emotions, managing your ability to stay healthy, whether that is being challenged with substance use issues, holidays, parties, or events, people around, certain types of foods, drinks, beverages. If you find that you in particular have a real struggle around this time period, please reach out to me. I would love to support you and help you strategize, a plan or ways to manage these next few weeks. Particularly leading, into the first couple of weeks into the year, and I know particularly the New Year's or New Year's Eve, all of that can pose itself to be a particularly trying time for many people. So if you find yourself in that predicament, I do provide and offer um, post addiction treatment aftercare support. If that is particularly an area for you that is a difficulty or a challenge. So please reach out to me for support. Like I said, information on where it can be contacted and how is in the description box below. But as you see me looking now, please know I'm looking at my notes as I dive into sharing some tips, particularly for those of us who identify as people pleasers. Um, you might have a tendency to have your ability to be cautious and on guard with your boundaries and able to establish and set those boundaries during the year. You may find it a particular challenge during the holidays. Um, Holidays in particular definitely can heighten people's stress, anxiety, worry, and depression. There's so many expectations on. I'll just give you an example for me personally. Um, the Black Friday, the sales, Cyber Monday, Giving Tuesday. Today's Giving Tuesday. There's all these things that we hear about that's going around, and you're sitting there and you're just like, I'm just trying to make ends meet. It's been a minute for me since I feel I've really participated in like the Black Friday sales and deals and Cyber Mondays, all of these things. There's that FOMO, that term of the fear of missing out because we are not able to partake or participate. There's a lot of stresses there. Things are more expensive, um, and it's just at the end of the day, you're thinking, how am I just basically surviving, managing, and meeting my needs? I'm not able to go above and beyond and shop and all these things. So the stress, the anxiety, the depression, we can and we will get through this. Let me come alongside you and support you through this process. So for today, um, sometimes we can fall into the trap of appeasing or pleasing to lessen the stressors. Um, there's people that just really just dread the holidays, and I really feel for you, and I totally understand. I totally get it. Um, it's like, okay, is this over already? Because it feels like earlier and earlier now. I mean, there's stuff happening as early as July, prepping for the holidays, and it can be very overwhelming and too much. This is a time period where some of us we fall into depression. We can neglect our self care, and there's just frustration that amounts. So we want to be careful and realize where we are in this stage of the game during this time of the year. It's important to realize the effects of our relationships. Perhaps you believe that your people pleasing habits, if that is you and you identify that, helps your relationship because it helps to reduce conflict. Um, but you're actually creating a wedge between you and your loved ones or your friends, whoever the others in your relationship may be, because get this, true connection cannot occur if you're hiding your feelings. It's that place where you show up first and foremost for yourself and get honest with yourself so that you can be real and honest with those around you. Take responsibility for your own happiness. You cannot control whether someone else is happy. Except no matter what you do or choose not to do, you are only responsible for your own happiness. So avoid concerning yourself with what others think. And I know this is always much easier said than done. But it's very important to remember. I go back and focus on keeping my eye on the bullseye. My eye on the bullseye is keeping my eye on that which I can solely and only and ultimately control. And that is myself. I can't control how someone's going to respond to something that I do or choose not to do. I can't control how they're going to feel about the situation. That is all on them, right? Also, consider what you are sacrificing. For example, saying no can be difficult, right? But consider for yourself um, what you are sacrificing every time you say yes to appease or please someone. Um, Consider what you're sacrificing for yourself every time you say yes to something that you actually want to say no to, or choose to that you choose not to participate, but you do so to lessen the friction or the confrontation. Here's one that's really great. That's a great tool that I encourage folks that I'm working with to utilize is delay your response. Okay. Instead of immediately saying yes, make it your default to say, I'll get back to you. Okay. Let me get back to you. Take time to decide so you can consider the pros and cons of the request. There's nothing pressing, usually right away, in regards to you needing to provide an answer, or they, whoever they are that are asking, needing an answer right away. Another great point is to help the other person feel understood. Sometimes it can be difficult to say no, so you can soften your response so that the other person feels understood. Sometimes it's best to be vague. You might say something like this: I understand cookie decorating is a lot of work, but I'm not available this weekend to help out. Right? So you're making that connector in your response to say no or to let them know that you're not available. Um, that's a great way to make that connector with the other person. Another great tip is avoid giving to earn approval. Ugh, this is a good one. Perhaps you tend to give too much because you are seeking others' approval, but giving should not come at the expense of your own well being. Before you give gifts, your time, or your money, ask yourself these things, okay? Do I truly want to give? Do I have the time or resources to give? Can I give without harming myself? Will it bring me enjoyment to give? What am I expecting in return? Okay, these are all really great questions that you can ask yourself when you slow down and pause. Ask yourself those specific questions. Do I truly want to give? Do I have the time or the resources to give? Can I give without harming myself? Will it bring me enjoyment to give? And what am I expecting in return, if anything? For those of us who identify as people pleasers or have the uh, notion to realize that we tend to appease to lessen the conflict or frustration, avoid overhelping. This is another good tip. Avoid overhelping. Um, for some of us, it might be the tendency to offer too much help. Pause before we volunteer to help and ask ourselves, did they even ask? Um, And if so, run through some of the same questions that I mentioned above. And as you go through those will help you to understand, am I over helping? Am I going way far above and beyond what is expected? And then in turn, at some point, going to harm myself by because I don't have the energy, the time, or the resources to do this. Another great tip is please don't apologize. We will find we're pushing ourselves into that place of apologizing for the boundaries and the limits that we're trying to set and that we are aware of for ourselves. Uh, People pleasing can involve a readiness to take on blame, even if what happened has nothing to do with you. Be aware of how many times you say sorry at a holiday gathering or event. Practice reframing from apologizing unless you are 100% certain you need to say sorry. This is one that takes a lot of practice, but it is necessary. Learning to sit with your discomfort. If someone is angry with you because you've set a boundary or you are working towards setting a boundary or limit that you know is needed for yourself and or others, you might believe you have failed. You might rush to do whatever you think will make them happy or the other person happy. Instead, sit with the discomfort that you experience with someone when they are upset. Breathe, reconnect with your body, self soothe, take time, breathe, feel the sensation of your breath. Do not rush to apologize. Fix the problem to the best of your ability or volunteer to help. Trust they can deal with their upset emotions without your input. Okay. And the final point and tip I want to share with you today, especially for those of us who have the tendency to appease or please to lessen confrontation during the holidays, is avoid the temptation to overschedule yourself. Prioritize and block out time to do things that you enjoy. After taking care of responsibilities, such as whether that's work, childcare, house chores, what have you, or other family responsibilities or festivities, what time is actually left for you? Okay. How have you made time to relax, to exercise, to enjoy your hobbies, or to participate in holiday activities that you love? How and in what way have you been able to do those things before you obligate and schedule yourself into doing something? Okay. So, those are tips to help us manage how to hold on and to stand firm in our boundaries. Okay. So, for this holiday season, what can be very helpful to help pull us back from the place of feeling or falling into our anxiety or depression. I posted the other day this little pill bottle. I love this on it. If you're not following us on Instagram, please do. Where it's a little picture of a prescription bottle. And on it, the prescription is gratitude and how important it is to really hunker down and participate in a gratitude practice. And it doesn't have to be something extenuously difficult or hard and you have to pull out this list. And it's actively thinking about, what am I grateful for right now? Right? There are things going on that either I can't do or participate, or that I choose not to do. And I pull myself out of the stress, out of the anxiety, out of the depression, into thankfulness, into contentment with the things that I do have and the things that I am capable of and able to do. This is the time of the year that can be very challenging, because we can look around and see of all of the things that people are doing and purchasing and buying and all of this stuff. But remember that our health is of primary importance. And so when you can allow yourself to acknowledge, yeah, that does make me sad that I'm not able to do X, Y, and Z. I acknowledge my feelings. I validate what's going on for me. And then I also realize, how long do I want to stay there? Do I want to stay grumpy and harping on the things that I don't have or can't do? How is that benefiting and helping me? Or do I want to pull into grateful practices and attitudes, right? So please know that during this season, during these next 4, I want to say to 6 weeks, hang in there with me. Tune in, subscribe, listen in as I help provide you some tips on how to manage expectations during the holidays, how to keep yourself sane, how to keep yourself healthy, how to keep yourself safe. All right? I so appreciate you. Thank you so much for your time today. And as always, I am setting high vibe, good intentions, sending them your way, or reaching out and touching somebody's hands, making this world a better place, one person at a time, as much as I can. I so appreciate you. Please do know these 3 things: that you matter, you are worthy, and you are also loved. And if in any of these areas you have some doubts or disbelief, holla at me. Reach out, contact me, call me, let's schedule a consultation. Let us help you get the support that you need to help you to live well, do well, and be well in every area of your life. This is Megan here with Core3 Harmony Wellness Services. I so appreciate you, and I look forward to speaking with you again next week. Subscribe. Take care. Many blessings.